GIC's decades of investing in US markets have not always been smooth sailing. We've stayed invested in the US through thick and thin because of its vital role in the world economy. Rivalries and tensions between the major powers are intensifying. Considerations of national security, resilience, and staying ahead of competitors and rivals have become increasingly important. Economic considerations are becoming secondary. Yet, even in this environment, GIC still believes in the long-term potential of the US economy. Today, over 1/3 of GIC's global portfolio is here in the US. We have offices in New York and San Francisco. We have hundreds of business partners based here in the US. Today, we have a majority equity portfolio that we continue to actively manage. We've stayed invested in the US through thick and thin because of its vital role in the world economy. And we continue to have faith in the US economy's vibrance, dynamism, and sheer resilience. GIC's decades of investing in US markets have not always been smooth sailing. We weathered many peaks and troughs and stayed invested in rough times. The first big test came just 3 years after our New York office opened, Black Monday on the 19th of October, 1987. That stock market crash was severe and unexpected. GIC was a young startup then. Black Monday tested our mettle, but we had conviction in the long-term potential of the US markets and did not liquidate our positions. We weathered the dot-com boom and the bust cycle similarly too. In the 2008 global financial crisis, we de-risked a little, but we stayed substantially invested in the US. In fact, GIC contributed to critical capital raises and did our bit to help stabilize the broader financial system. More recently, the COVID pandemic threw global markets into turmoil. Again, we sat tight and weathered the storm. GIC invested capital in portfolio companies, and this capital also supported the development of healthcare solutions, research trials for vaccines, and the provision of critical healthcare supplies. GIC has been able to do this because we are able to take a long-term view. We know that markets go through cycles. That's an unavoidable reality, which we must accept and ride through with some equanimity if we are to maximize long-term returns. For GIC, there is no predetermined end date. We can hunker down and stay invested through boom and bust cycles because GIC's investment horizon is not measured in just years or even decades, but by fundamentals and intrinsic value. When GIC's investments do well, we try our best to keep our heads and not get carried away. We've greatly benefited from the power of long-term compounding. So I'm confident that GIC will continue to be a patient investor in the US for a long time to come. At the same time, we are mindful that the international environment has become much more challenging. Rivalries and tensions between the major powers are intensifying. The zeitgeist has changed, and not just in the US. Considerations of national security, resilience, and staying ahead of competitors and rivals have become increasingly important. Economic considerations are becoming secondary. Political support for free trade, multilateralism, and globalization has evaporated. Protectionism has become respectable again. There is much greater wariness over both inbound and outbound investments. The US elections have just taken place. The results are clear, but analysts are still busy examining the entrails to divine what lies ahead. In this darker, more complex climate, GIC must still pursue its mission to invest and to protect and grow its portfolio. Estimating risk-adjusted returns will be much harder. We are no longer just calculating stochastic quantitative risks that we can model and estimate, but also assessing uncertainties that are harder to predict and scenarios with unquantifiable probabilities and unforeseeable consequences. We have to weigh the implications of these different possibilities for our portfolio to make sound financial decisions. Will normal cycles of recession and recovery persist, or will they be disrupted by strategic, political, or security considerations and developments? Will markets continue to function, or will geopolitical events shut down certain businesses while boosting others? Will GIC need to hold a stock of physical gold? And if so, where? A fund manager like GIC now has to deal with a whole different set of challenges altogether. Yet, even in this environment, GIC still believes in the long-term potential of the US economy. The US continues to be the most major, dynamic, and resilient economy in the world. It remains a destination of choice for talent and enterprising people from all over the globe. Its capital markets remain the most innovative and the most open in the world. GIC continues to see investment opportunities, especially in emerging areas like climate technology and sustainability. Besides helping to decarbonize the global economy, such investments can also benefit local communities. We have every confidence that this is the correct choice for a fund taking a long-term perspective.